Howdy. Took me a while to get this done. Yeah, I know, I'm procrastinating. That's a semblance of life. Sure, you get certain financial downfalls and such like that. I mean, yeah, it's part of the freaking system that I'm using before the fall, so to speak. But if I can't get it to fall, that's kind of out of the question altogether, wouldn't you think? I got a lot of explaining to do, obviously. So, without further ado, I got one thing that I've got on my mind that's been pestering me, or should I say, someone. Now, he does have his own agenda for his own purpose, his own philosophy, learning things, doing things his own way. Yeah, he wants to be individual without having others interfering with him. About damn time you got that straight. I mean, come on. I'm as blunt as you can get. Sometimes I'm a little too forward, sometimes I'm not, but I've got a little bit of a change myself. I've been out here, I moved to somewhere else that has a nice location where I can train myself to actually use certain kinetic abilities. I can use the energy of the area to allow me to build on that, and vice versa. There's a lot of other ones that I could say, like I would definitely say for certain that I will be doing another video later on. I know that for a fact that some people think that kinetic abilities, energy manipulation, and all this shit that you can say is completely and totally bogus. Well, unfortunately, that something is, how should I put it? I guess supernatural, by human terms, would be the appropriate way of saying it. Now, supernatural versus spiritual, well, for me, when I started out, I was someone that you would call a spirit worker. I didn't really go with the general gist of, okay, well, I can go with light workers and do my own thing as I call light workers, engies, because they engineer the world, they engineer the energy, they recreate the world around them, they turn things into certain presets. But the problem with that, yes, I know, it doesn't stick. It never does. When it comes to energy, it always ebbs and flows. It never stops. It always changes. The way Gaia works is more of the same. Over and over. It never stops in one place at one time. That's just from personal experience, mind you. But there's much more to it than that. As I could obviously go into full perspective on it, but I won't for the sake of time. Still, the single most important thing on this planet that I find is being able to tap into your own heritage, your bloodlines, your memories, your past life soul searching. I could go into all these different topics, but I find the most minute details when it comes to tapping into your what I call bloodline memories, because you tap into some experiences that your ancestors actually experienced. If you're a gamer, you know this sort of truth in Assassin's Creed. When you first go into the Animus and you start doing all this, you're actually unlocking your potential as your ancestors unlocked theirs. But the problem with that is transferring all that from your ancestors' experiences to your own. I know that's kind of stealing, but if they have their own experiences, they say, okay, I want to share this and this and this with you. Well, in some respects, without having that one thing, or the one thing that they want to share with you, that's not really fair trade now, is it? Well, if you say, okay, I can teach you this much, and I can teach you this, and like, no, you can't. There's some things that you cannot teach on this planet, at least not in physical form. As an archangel, I learned shit ton more information than I could ever possibly do it down here. I'm turning what I learned up there into knowledge that I can use down here. That's not exactly something you can go over and over and over and over on, but kinetic abilities, that's something that I really would like to go into, but yeah, again, can't, not yet. Still, the way that I think about things, and then what other people think, different perspective entirely. Obviously, there's always going to be someone that says, okay, I'm inky, or I'm this guy, or I'm that guy. No. The way I see it, some people actually have tapped into certain bloodline memories that, well, let's just say it doesn't work out. Nonetheless, it's always a problem to really give into that specific bloodline memory and then move on. Well, if you give into it versus what you don't do to give into it, it's a bit complex. Yeah. Again, I need to do a separate video on that. That's something else that's very much complicated. So don't hound me about it. I'm not too bad off on certain topics. I'll get around to them eventually. The time that I have is very short sometimes, and the job I have allows me to travel certain places, but it doesn't allow me to settle down for a specific amount of time to be able to do this. So, obviously you can see I'm in a trailer now, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm traveling around doing things. In a way, this is sort of my own spiritual journey. This is how I do it. This is what I am doing now. Now, I would actually stick around with doing this for a while, but the one thing that that is holding me back from going in the woods and romping around is that if I'm disconnected from the world, I will not be able to help the world. Pathetic, I know, but what I have in mind to help the world is also something that requires a lot of knowledge, and the internet, what I call the human collective as it is. I mean, look at the Library of Congress. I mean, that pales in comparison to Alexandria Library or some of the other things that we've already known. I mean, it may rival the Atlantean libraries, the crystalline libraries that we were still able to access, but who gives a crap about them anymore? I mean, people are able to access archives shit ton of light years elsewhere that are also connected to Atlantis, but Atlantean knowledge was very limited, even still. You can access the archives through Atlantis, go through a specific point, like a network, what we have here for computers and stuff like that. Unbelievable. There's so much you can learn. But the one problem I have with that is that it doesn't stick all too well. You have to continually study it, or you can for some of the ones that you quote-unquote download biological memories, experiences, feelings. Those are not the ones that you really want to try to download, because your mind has a certain preset. Unless you are disciplined, you cannot read, you cannot study, you cannot memorize or have a recollection of what that feeling is. But some of the basic knowledge that, like learning how to teleport, astral projection, kinetic abilities, it just goes on from there, obviously. But no, it's not just that. It goes into records of history, almost unlimited knowledge, so to speak, like how certain dimensions work, time frames, timelines, etc., etc., etc. But some things are actually forbidden. I do realize that for our way of life, we cannot understand that just yet. But the one thing I have a problem with, why the hell did they not trust us? I mean, we've evolved so long. Yes, free will has come a long way, yet it's still not quite there yet. I'm very disappointed in what happened. And the truck, there's a so-called million trucker march that happened in D.C. not too long ago. I could say that there could have been more. If they choked up D.C., it would shut the entire government down, and it almost completely did. But they were scared shitless of the human free will. They were scared of what will happen if they actually found out we are being duped. Duped by what? Oh, I think I know who you are, Mr. Inky, so to speak. I mean, you stated it before. We're being fooled, obviously. And you have currency, messing around with insurance, bills, just everything revolving around a fiat currency, paper, and absolutely worthless, if not foolish prospect that we can actually survive by using money, a monetary system. I don't know why people even bother with this, because when it comes down to it, we really have to think about our own survival. Now, yeah, I know, that's not spirituality, that's not how it works, we shouldn't be talking about that, I'm going off topic. Now, this actually does relate to spirituality for me. Saying like organic versus ethereal spirituality, you have your own ways, and we have our own ways. There's two different paths we take. There's paths upon paths on that, after that, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. You have one, you have another, and you go across the path, it goes back there. You get the point. I'm still very much in the loop, but hardly enough, really, to give me enough information to fight back, or little enough time to fight back. Again, to Mr. Inky, you do have your ways. I'll get that. You're trying to survive, but the difference between living in a log cabin or building that yourself versus, okay, I need help from somebody. Aren't you kind of taking from people? I don't know. What do you think? I always seen, yeah, well, you're not obligated to give this amount. You're not obligated to give that amount. I still feel that being able to find, farm, and create your own resources is always the better. I could do the same. I just haven't done it yet because, well, in the position I'm in, I need more resources. There's always a problem. I need more ammo. I need this. I need that. I need more tools. I need more bags. I need this. I need that. There's never enough to really be carrying around with you when you're trying to survive in a world, or should I say, on a planet as harsh as this. By comparison, other planets, well, it's not as bad. So, when you're traveling from one place to another, you teleport, you go to certain places, and sometimes very harsh environments, which is one of the places I lost my arm at. Some people call it the void. Some people they call it oblivion. Some people call it hell. But nonetheless, there's nothing there. You don't have any sense of who you are, unless you have a proper sense of training, like I do, or any other being that, for that matter, that knows how to travel for the void. Going through the void can cause quite a bit of damage if you don't know how to repel it. Your light body or your astral form, depending on what you use, has certain advantages and disadvantages while you're there. And last but most certainly not least, you're really vulnerable there because you can't see crap. All you have to rely on is your third eye. That is it. You're blind otherwise. And I had to receive very, very crucial training to be able to get through that void. Now, you can skip it. There are certain portals throughout our dimension that go from our dimension to the fourth dimension and higher up. Now, that's something I would map out, but I'll attempt to explain since I'm feeling relatively clear-headed. The way that certain dimensions work is the higher up you go or the lower you go, depending on what your intent is. You travel to certain dimension, you go to a sub-dimension, which I pretty much like to call pocket dimensions, as you want to say, because when it comes to, well, pocket dimensions, you really have different little knickknacks that vary and do this and all that, do that. And I'll call them pocket dimensions for obvious reasons, because when you actually add a variable to it, it changes the entire dimension and its prospect of how it exists. That's why I call it variable dimensions. That's not an easy thing to do. To be able to change one little part of your intent of where you want to go, and then suddenly find yourself somewhere else, it's a little confusing. If you don't have enough focus on one specific spot, or you don't ride around knowing where you are, you're going to get lost, obviously. But there is one thing that I think I actually have proven one point, Mr. Enke. I think you actually figure out that, okay, well, yeah, there's a lot of beings. How the hell do they figure out how to get back to where they were before? Well, without that so-called lifeline you've been talking about, not so easy. I mean, I've been exploring a long time, so yeah, I've been able to cut it. I don't need it anymore. I just say, okay, haphazard, YOLO. Stupid as it sounds, it's that one thing that allows you to become something a little higher than yourself. You're able to be more experienced, you're more mature, you're, what's the spiritual term? Shoot. Anyway, I think you get the idea of that. The still ways and the not so still ways, like the ripples in a pool, you slowly start to expand, you get bigger. For me, it was a matter of how the hell am I going to expand my aura? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Complicated as it sounds, it gets fairly easy after a while. You're like, okay, well, I'll go over here. I'll learn a little bit from this Ascended Master. Like, I don't like calling them Ascended Masters. They're beings like everyone else. They're equal to us. It's safer experiences because of their knowledge, their way they act, the way they do things. It depends on who you go to, who you ask. That's just my personal perception of it, and personal experience, might I add. The problem I have with this, though, is that sometimes you can find impersonators, imposters. Like, if you're going into a dimension, is like, oops, I think I just realized I hit a variable dimension, and this guy is a reflection of that, and he's not even who he says he is. That's why I'm so cautious. The one variable dimension that I've actually seen most, though, it is very heavily used. It's a branch off of this third dimension that humans go to when they quote-unquote die, so to speak. It's stupid, but at the same time, very useful. Because what happens with humankind on most days is they don't understand how spirituality works. Some of them, yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Inky. Mainstream spirituality, that just it doesn't work. I mean, you have all these religious texts saying it dictates this, it dictates that. You can't do this, you can't do that. Where's the freedom in that? There's no free will. There's no way of actually doing it. That sucks. That's not spirituality. That's fucking enslavement. If you want me to be as blunt as possible, that's how I see it. The thing is, though, another thing, the reason why I actually give you a little bit of, well, okay, maybe I really went overkill. I can't justify my actions anymore because to me, to you, and a lot of other people, I wouldn't doubt by now, they don't like me. They think I'm a complete and total asshole who doesn't know shit about spirituality. No. What do you think I'm actually doing this video, huh? Point is, I did what I did because I was doing what I believed in. Okay. So you actually did that. Oh, I did that right now. Well. Okay. Okay. How much does it really take to rise above all the hate, the anger, and anguish that we have for each other? You got several things that I know that either helps or harms you. How you think, how you act, and what kind of energy you actually portray from those actions. My kind of energy is a little different. It's complex. You can't read me. No matter how much you try, you can't read me. I mean, I'm welcome to you trying. I mean, go ahead. The door is open. Don't let the door hit you if you on the way out. If you think that that it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever your perception of the matter is. I'm trying to stay a little bit neutral here, okay? Because I know that I've been an ass, so just being a little bit independent doesn't mean you're doing this or that, but also having someone that covers your back ain't too bad either. That individualist spirituality, that is, in my opinion, that will never work. Because the way I actually was taught by all these beings is that if you do not have someone covering your back when you're in trouble, you will have so much trouble yourself that it will get out of hand. You'll start feeling it in your energy. You'll start acting out, and you're basically doing the reverse order. It goes attack, energy, action. I've had plenty of that recently. Did the sugar energy shift? Oh man, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Excuse my French. I have not had a single freaking thing that's come through my door, or at least try to come through my door, as I obviously have a hell of a way of actually protecting the place I live. Basically using sacred geometry, light rods. Yeah. That's another thing. Energy manipulation, that's all you got. That's all you got. Knowledge and heart. You gotta have a balance between the two, or otherwise you're going to be fairly well, I guess you'd say you can make of it what you will. That's my way of saying things. Anyway, see you when you respond. I'm pretty sure you have quite a bit. Liberation or not, hell, we need to freaking change this planet. I don't give a damn. See you.